Thank you, Tania. To conclude this seminar session, we focus on mental health, youth wellbeing and personal safety with Senior Sergeant Crystal Moore. Senior Sergeant Crystal Moore has served with Queensland Police Service since 2004 with extensive experience across multiple districts and roles focused on child protection, crime prevention and cross-cultural support. She has worked in Child Protective Investigation Unit as a school-based police officer, managing a PCYC branch and a coordinated crime prevention initiatives, developing a deep understanding of community safety and early intervention strategies. Currently officer in charge of the North Brisbane District Crime Prevention and Cross-Cultural Unit. She leads prevention and disruption efforts, cross-cultural engagement and victim support programs.
Big bio. I'm here today on behalf of North Brisbane District to speak a little bit about how the police service help in the youth space and mental health space. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land we gather on today and pay my respects to the elders past, present and emerging. I also extend that respect to First Nations young people and their families here today, whose culture, resilience and creativity continue to strengthen our communities. So it's a privilege to join today on behalf of the Queensland Police Service, this special day on arts and the festival here today. It's days like this that I'm reminded that resilience, wellbeing and community are not built in isolation. They're built together with creativity, culture and inclusion at heart. My role today is to share with you some of the units within the Queensland Police Service and some of the activities and initiatives we do within the Queensland Police Service that make a real difference in our communities. The safety of children and young people is our highest priority. As police, we firsthand see the impacts of children placed at risk. Our role is not only about responding to incidents, but about prevention and early intervention in our communities. Some of the initiatives that the Queensland Police Service and some of our specialist units that are in our communities within Queensland I want to talk about. One of our units is the Youth Co-Responder Teams. These teams are police officers that work directly alongside youth workers in our communities. They work with our at-risk youth in our communities, working with their families and working closely with the youth to ensure that they are diverting them from criminal activity and diverting them from the criminal justice system. We also have the police liaison officers within our Queensland Police Service. So I'm really lucky I get to be the officer in charge with the police liaison officers in the cross-cultural unit. They have a really special, vital role in our community and they help us understand the cultural difference within the community and they help us connect with the cultural knowledge, trust and the connections within the communities. They ensure that we are responsive, inclusive and respectful across all cultures and communities within Queensland. There's another important unit that I want to talk about today, which is the Child Protection Investigation Unit, also known as CPRU. These are specialist detectives that are dedicated to investigating serious crimes involving children and young people. These units work closely with child safety officers, health professionals, schools and youth workers to ensure every child who is harmed is heard, protected and supported, while offenders are held accountable. Another important unit within the Queensland Police Service is Task Force Argos. They are internationally recognised for tackling online child exploitation, keeping children safe in the digital space, which is really important in the current day we are in. Another role is school-based police officers. Now, I got to do this role for many years of my career and I have such a soft spot for this role. These police officers are trained in youth wellbeing and youth work. So their job is to work involve the youth justice and work closely with the schools, youth and families. It's a really special role within the communities where the police officer gets to work through local high schools with local youth workers and guidance officers. These are just some of the units within the Queensland Police Service that work within the youth and mental health space. Together, these units and specialist officers ensure that the Queensland Police Service is not just reacting to harm, but actively working to prevent it, protect our children, protect our youth, and stand alongside families and communities to safeguard our next generations. Keeping young people safe is the first step, but supporting their well-being is just as important. Young people today face pressures that many of us never had to navigate. 24/7 social media, mental health stigma, and broken families, fractured families. The Queensland Police Service recognise that connection and well-being go hand in hand. That's why it's so important that we support programs that encourage our young people to build resilience, confidence, and positive relationships. Our police liaison officers and our cross-cultural liaison officers play a vital role here. They work closely with culturally diverse communities and our First Nations young people to make sure services are inclusive and accessible. One of the other greatest tools we have within the Queensland Police Service and throughout the state is our Police Citizens Youth Clubs. We're lucky enough today that we have Jared at the back, one of our branch managers. The PCYCs are all throughout the state. They're spread everywhere. We've got over 50 of them throughout the state. These clubs provide a safe, affordable, and inclusive space for our young people. Through PCYCs, young people can take part in sporting activities, boxing, basketball, gym, where they learn discipline and teamwork. Youth programs like Breaking the Cycle. This is a beautiful program where youth learn to drive and they learn to get a licence, which then empowers them to take those next steps in life. We run lots of youth leadership programs. An example of this would be Blue Edge, which develops their skills in teamwork, resilience, and community service. They have lots of creative programs, dance, art, music. Young people get to express themselves in our clubs. They get to be an individual and get to see who they are. We also offer youth drop-in spaces where young people can access mentoring, homework help, and simply just a safe space to be who they are. PCYC is more than just a sports club. It's about giving young people a sense of belonging, role models to look up to, and pathways to a brighter future. I think it's pretty amazing that the Queensland Police Service offer these clubs throughout Queensland, and they're such an easy, accessible place to attend and see. If you Google your local one, you'll find there's usually one within 5 to 10 minutes of your home, and they're very, very affordable. We know mental health challenges affect many young people and their families. Police are often the first response when someone has experienced a mental health crisis. Traditionally in the past, that's usually been a role filled with lights and sirens, and it hasn't really been a nice experience sometimes. Times are changing. Today, the Queensland Police Service works in partnership with Queensland Health through mental health co-responders. We're lucky enough to have 2 of them here today in the audience. So Leah will be here on break, so you can have a chat to Leah if you want to pop your hand up. These mental health co-responders work alongside the clinicians within the community. Together they attend calls for service where someone's in distress. This allows for immediate clinical support, a calmer response, and a better chance of connecting to the person to ongoing care and support. This approach reduces harm, reduces the stigma, and reminds our community that mental health is a health issue, not necessarily a crime. Beyond crisis response, police are also working to connect young people and families with the right services. Some of our referral options through support link referrals are connection to counselling, housing assistance and housing support, youth support with case management for at-risk youth, community mental health services where families can be referred to ongoing psychological and psychiatric support, and partnership with youth workers and cultural organisations, ensuring support is culturally safe and tailored to each young person's needs. It's about ensuring when a young person reaches a crossroad, there are multiple doors and opportunities. We want to divert our youth from the criminal justice system and give them opportunities within our community to thrive. As I look around this event today, I'm reminded of something really simple but really powerful. Resilience is not about facing hardship, it's about how we respond together. For young people, resilience grows when they feel safe, when they are supported in their well-being, when they have opportunities to learn, play and create, and when they know that their community, including their police, stand beside them. So let's work at keeping to build our connections. Let's keep nurturing culture, creativity as tools for inclusion and well-being. And let's continue to remind every young person that they are valued, their voice matters, that there is a network around them and they are supported. Thank you for having us here today.